Thank you everybody for taking the effort to making it here today in person. As I was just telling you a little bit earlier, this is our first in-person event since COVID, and it is an extreme pleasure to host it at such a beautiful venue provided by Dubai Expo. My name is Azhan Backer. I am the Director of Strategy at Mustafa and Al-Mana. Mustafa and Al-Mana is a multi-jurisdictional legal and consulting brand. We have been operational in Dubai for the past 25 years. And this event, Destination Dubai, is co-hosted with Dubai FDI. So Dubai FDI is the nodal agency of the government of Dubai to promote investment into what we like to call the most vibrant city and the most vibrant economy in the region at large. Before I step into the pertinent details of the event, I would just like to give you a little bit of context on what we do and who we are. Destination Dubai is a investment facilitation platform that has been present since 2014. We have held multiple events in different countries, ranging from India to Australia to the UK. It's been a very, very interesting experience for us partnering with Dubai FDI on this venture. We have been able to provide a very eclectic mix of public and private sector expertise for our clients and potential investors into Dubai. Since 2014, we have facilitated upwards of $1 billion dirhams into the economy in Dubai as well as the wider region. So all of you present here and all of you present online, you will hear a lot about the strategic value of doing business in Dubai. Our theme is split into 3 different verticals. We're looking at the innovation angle, we are looking at the investment angle, and we are also looking at the legal angle of coming and doing business in Dubai. As far as the Expo is concerned, the World Expo for the past 150 years has been where a lot of people got together to discuss on what the future will look like. So hopefully by the end of this event, we can give you a little flavor on where Dubai is headed for the next 10 years. We hopefully can give you what Expo in specific, the site and the infrastructure that we've built around this amazing and unbelievable physical infrastructure that you see, what we're looking to do with it. We also have speakers from multiple different nodal government agencies. So we have speakers from the Dubai Future Foundation, which is again tasked with assisting Dubai's push to modernizing and getting the economy to the future. So that is a technology hub that promotes technology startups and innovators and connects them with the government. We also have people from the Dubai Expo coming and speaking about the future plans that we have in place. We also have private sector perspective on someone who has been doing business in Dubai for the last 30 to 40 years and is a fabric of Dubai, I would like to call. I would just like to play a small video on Mustafa and Al-Mana, and hopefully that gives you a small perspective on who we are and what we do.
Our commitment to innovation was set in motion since our inception in 1992.
Over the last 25 years, Mustafa and Al-Mana has been very conscious about not staying still. When I look back, I can see that the firm has grown exponentially because we were proactive and also able to predict and react to the subtle external cues from the market and the internal cues of our clients.
Over the years, we have fine-tuned our systems and processes to cater to all stakeholders in 4 major jurisdictions that we are present in. This unique positioning has enabled us to develop a unique legal, business, management and investment consultancy platform with a team of more than 100 experts from around the globe.
Success of Mustafa and Al-Mana is the approach, our strategic thinking, our deep market knowledge, dynamic and the comprehensive end-to-end service that we provide for our clients.
This evolution was actualized by the commitment to our founding principles, which envisioned law as a positive object, a tool to prevent uncertainty, rather than a dispute resolution mechanism. At the core of who we are is constant innovation.
So the idea behind what we do is to help clients optimize their business decision making, to help them uncover nuanced industry insights to make effective decisions by finding the paths for strategic growth opportunities. And we feel that this makes the act of doing business more rewarding and really more fulfilling.
We have externalized the innovative processes that have been central to our existence. We have crystallized our mission, and this is the positioning that we aim to occupy: to provide world-class, elegant, practical solutions to our clients, while maintaining the highest levels of creativity and integrity by foreseeing global trends and shaping opportunities.
Innovation has always been a focus point in our decision making. Our platforms provide a fresh perspective and out-of-the-box solutions for perennial problems that our clients face today. The physical manifestation of this is Malik, Mustafa and Al-Mana Legal Innovation Center, a first-of-its-kind multi-purpose innovation center aiming to revolutionize the way entities and individuals interact, transact, and resolve in the future.
Thank you. I would just like to, again, before I go off stage, just take a moment to thank the organizers at the Expo for enabling us to do this event here. Especially thanks to the Executive Vice Chairman, Dr. Tarek Shayya. He will hopefully be joining us very shortly to give you a perspective on the post-Expo drive. We are also very thankful to Dubai Future Foundation. We have the Executive Director, Mr. Saeed Al-Falasi, who will be joining us around noon. He will be giving you a perspective on the future of Dubai in general. As I was saying, Dr. Tarek, we're just very grateful that you've been able to put an incredible physical expo for us, especially when a lot of us around Dubai doubted whether we'd be able to do something this successful. So great work, and thank you so much to you and your team for making us so proud. And correct me, doctor, if I'm wrong, is this the expo with the most amount of participants as far as countries go? Yes. So I think that in itself is an incredible achievement, especially given the geopolitical circumstances. So I would like to, extend, again, unbelievable work. He is now, in his current role, he is the Executive Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors, and he is in charge of the transition of the Expo from what you see here as a world event to something that hopefully people in Dubai can call home. So without much further ado, I would like you to come and give us a perspective.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and first of all, thank you for inviting me and to have this opportunity to speak to you and share with you the future of the site, but beyond that, what has this Expo delivered and contributed to Dubai, and hopefully what will continue to contribute in the future. Let me start by sort of take you, a few years back to where this whole idea started. And why did we end up bidding to host this expo? Because that has a lot of significance then as to how we designed the site and what we hope the site then will continue to do beyond the event itself. So back in 2011, 2012, World Expos up until that moment in history were always hosted by advanced developed countries, highly industrialized, primarily because Expo tended to focus on innovation. As we entered the 21st century, a lot of people were beginning to doubt whether meeting 5 years in another expensive enterprise is warranted anymore, because today we can discover whatever we need to discover about innovation simply by using our mobile phone. So do we need to get together to just learn what each one of us invented in the past 5 years, which was at that time, back when you think of 1851, since the first World Expo in London, and moving forward, it was an event that the whole world waited for, because this is the first time, for example, that the X-ray machine was actually demonstrated, the first time that the telephone was demonstrated. The first time lighting, in fact, if you go back to the Chicago Expo in 1902, it was the first time that actually they showed how they can light a city. and that was called the White City, the Chicago Expo, and this is when first time they turned on a light, and all of a sudden the whole site came to light. So it was very, very important. So how relevant was it in the 21st century? But that time, the world was also undergoing a lot of changes that a lot of people were not really paying attention to. One of them is that the world is no longer about the developed world. That the center of wealth and the center of innovation are beginning to move east. I think we all agree on that. But also beyond that, all of the major growing economies in the world are also no longer in the developed world. If you see at that time, Europe was growing, at 2.5%, and that was celebrated. And you have countries in Africa were growing at 50 and 60% per year, right? We know India and rising India, and a lot of people call the 21st century the century of Africa. Now, in 2011 also, our region here was undergoing very difficult transformation and very difficult transition, right? So the so-called Arab Spring, a lot of things, but a lot of yearning for change, but change that did not have a direction where it is going. Now, I'd like to quote His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, who once on CNN said, "I've always told my friends in the region, change or be changed." So the UAE and Dubai have always been about being ahead, the trend of change, to constantly reinvent and constantly have our ears to the ground as to what changes are happening and where do we need to be and what do we need to change. So change is the only constant in Dubai. So we saw an opportunity by hosting a World Expo, first of all, to stand up and make that statement that the world has changed, because we found ourselves right in the middle of that incredibly growing global, the new growing economies around the world. We found ourselves in the middle of transformation of a region that needed to have a direction that it can believe in. So a World Expo became absolutely the perfect global event for us to do that. Now we needed to convince the world that this is the right place and the right site. This site that you see here, Dubai South, was originally, before the financial crisis, was always intended to be the expansion of the World Trade Center. And the DEC, the Dubai Exhibition Center, was supposed to be the expansion, because that's being in downtown. The mice industry was growing and growing rapidly. We were doing well, but we knew that there is a finite number of meters that you can put to continue to grow that sector. So there was always planned that this will be it. However, the financial crisis came and a lot of these projects slowed down. So it happened that now we have an opportunity to revisit that, but then revisit it at a much greater scale. So let me start then by saying that we built a city and we gave it to Expo for 6 months to borrow it for the event. So everything you see that you designed here was not designed for the event. It was designed to be a city, but also a city of the future. Dubai does not, if we want to build really something or be ahead of the trend, we could not have built a city with the standards of 15 years ago that were set 15 years ago. We wanted to set the standard for how you build future cities. This is a very unique site in that way, in two ways. One, it's the most sustainable city, not only in Dubai and the UAE, but perhaps in the region and the world. If some of you are in the construction industry, you know about the LEED certification. All of our buildings are gold certified, and we have a couple of buildings that are platinum certified. If you stand here, you see each roof has solar panels. Everything, we try to make it into a city that will be indeed, because one of our themes at Expo was sustainability. So we could not be preaching to the world about sustainability and building, a city that, was terrible at being sustainable, etc. The second factor that what we built here is a human-centric city. We've already seen and we've known how the habits are changing, the working habits are changing, the living, particularly what we call the Z generation, they have a very, very different. So we did not build this for an old man like me. We built it for the generation that will be here, that will grow with Dubai, in Dubai, for the next generation, which is 15 to 20 years. So, for example, we build it in a way, what we call, it's a 15-minute walking city. This Expo, from anywhere to anywhere, you should have all the services you need. then it's the only community in Dubai and the UAE where you can work and live all at the same time. We don't have neighborhoods like that in Dubai. You either work in Jabal Ali and then you go sleep in Jumeirah, or you work in Jumeirah and then you, or in a free zone here and then you go in. So it was always, workplace and then as a result you have to drive your car, you have to create traffic jams, and you have, to pollute the environment. The young generation cares tremendously about that, but more importantly, that whole sense of the neighborhood, to build your own neighborhood. So we would like people here in the city to walk to work, to cycle to work. We built a 10-kilometer cycling track here. So it is a very, very human-centric city. But we also made it a city that people not only, live and work, but also can get entertained and learn. So we also have all of these features, such as the water feature, and of course the Al-Wasl, which is an absolute an engineering marvel. The 360, the most immersive screen in the world. We have the tower, and our beautiful, beautiful thematic pavilions. The Terra Pavilion, etc. All of these will contribute to making this community here a very vibrant community for entertainment, for living, etc. So it's very human-centric city. But then who are the people who are going to come here, work and live? We would like it to be, I said we'd like it because we cannot really drive it ourselves, to be the innovation hub for the region. And by the region, I don't mean just the Middle East, but the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia. Why am I saying innovation hub? Because if you look at the map of innovation around the world, there is plenty in the United States and North America. There is plenty of Europe, particularly Western Europe, few in Central Europe, and then the map becomes empty all the way perhaps to Bangalore, the first innovation hub, and then all the way to the Far East. Now, if you are talking about the youngest population in the world being in this 2 billion population, which is Middle East, Africa, and South Asia, they're getting better educated, they are getting better connected, they're becoming entrepreneur almost by nature. In my generation, my father told me, graduate, get a job, have a family, retire, etc. Entrepreneurship was not part of our idiom, right, or what we were taught. This generation, it's all about being entrepreneur, right? Learning, through social media, whatever, they're learning, and entrepreneurship is becoming. So who's serving them? No one. Which enabling environment exists, whether in Morocco, whether in Sudan, whether in Kenya, or in Karachi? And by an environment, by an ecosystem, I mean you need the accelerators, you need the funding. Even in Dubai here, where are the funds? They're all in the IFC. What are they funding? They're funding big projects. So if someone comes in and tells them, I would like $300,000 to take my innovation from this point to that point, I'll tell them, you're too small, right? You're gonna go somewhere else. Now, the government here does a lot of funding to certain projects. We would like this hub to become the innovation hub for the region, an ecosystem in its own. Like I said, we would like it because we neither have a fund, nor we have accelerators, but we have others who will come here and help us do just that. So this, in as brief of a way as I can, I don't want to take too much of your time, the vision behind this, the reason why we did it, and what we hope it will continue to contribute to the UAE economy, to the Dubai economy, as well as to our region in general. So thank you very much for listening.